Okay, welcome back.
Thank you.
Hope you've had a nice lunch. You're refreshed.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. Right, this afternoon we're going to make a start on doing that, actually developing your blueprint. I'll run through some bits and pieces first, but then we're going to take some time out, and I'm going to give you a little crib sheet, and we'll find some pens and paper, and we'll see what you can actually get written down about your blueprint. You should look excited by that, by the way.
Yay.
Thank you. I'm quite excited to see what you're going to come up with, so it should be great. As I said before, write the vision. Now, we should all be very familiar with that verse, and it is particularly relevant to what we're going to do now. Write the vision and make it plain on tablets. Well, we'll do it on paper. That he may run who reads it, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Now, I think a lot of what's being released is for a time such as this. I think there is a season that we're in where God is releasing mandates, he's equipping his church, and we need to accept that we're in an appointed time. But the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it. Oh, something about timing in there, so we need to be aware of that, because it will come and it will not tarry. Right, heavenly blueprint, earthly plan. We've established that it's a strategy, and we need to turn it into a workable plan. You will need people. You cannot do anything in isolation. I think we've agreed that. And just because it makes sense to you doesn't always mean it makes sense to other people. So this exercise is going to be an opportunity for you to test your understanding and start to try to write some things down in a coherent way. But the question is where to start. Some of you may have already got this figured out. You probably know more than you think you do. Well, how about a very helpful little way of thinking about this process? Remember this? Rudyard Kipling wrote a poem called The Elephant's Child, and in it he talks about 6 honest serving men. And this is a really good way of looking at a problem and looking at a plan. Right, I keep 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I knew. The names are what and why and when and how and where and who. These are the simplest way any concept can be explained and will answer most of the questions that will commonly arise as you share your vision. Yep. What, why, when, how, where, who. Simples. Okay. Let's look at the importance of why then. I bet a lot of you can tell me what, but can you tell me why? There's a lady here who's been through this process before. Why is the hardest question, right? A guy called Simon Sinek is a great motivational speaker, and he's got lots of stuff on the internet which I really recommend that you watch. He's got a fantastic TED talk about the power of why. And he says it is one of life's greatest joys to wake up in the morning, every morning, with a clear sense of why that day matters. This is what it means to find your why. This is the start of an inspiring journey, your inspiring journey. How many of you wake up in the morning and know why that day matters? Sometimes. So, everybody likes to tell you what their project is, but if you want buy-in and you want commitment, people want to know why. Why are you doing that? Why is that a good idea? Why did you start that in the first place? What motivates you to do that? Why helps you define the problem so that the reason you are doing it is clear, not just to you, but to everybody else as well. If you understand your heavenly mandates, you will understand God's why. You can go to heaven and give you a mandate, but I do recommend that when he gives you that mandate, you ask him why he wants you to do it. He's not going to be offended. He's not going to be offended if you say, well, that's brilliant, I'm willing to do it, but why? Why is that important? He will show you. The more you understand about the why, the better your design and your delivery will be. Knowing why informs your choices and your decisions. It also informs other people's choices and decisions about whether to get involved with you. You must be able to explain your project is the solution to the why. If you don't know why, then no one else will know why either. Okay? What? What are you going to do? What is it you're actually going to deliver? What activities, what deliverables? The spiritual authority to do the thing. What mountains are attached to it? What levels of authority are attached to it? What earthly authority is attached to it? Personal, organizational, legal? What outcomes are you expecting? What's the results going to be? A quick word on outcomes. They tend to fall into categories like that. Community, health, education, behaviors and attitudes, relationships, employment, spiritual, financial, etc., etc., etc. People will be looking to know what you're trying to achieve. What are your outcomes? You must know that as well, otherwise you won't know whether you've succeeded or failed. How? How are you going to do it? Organizational structure, we've covered some of that. What kind of organizational structure do you need to deliver it? Through an ecclesia, a trust, club, society, etc., etc. All the stuff we talked about this morning, or I talked about this morning. What governance is going to go with it? So how are you going to deliver it? Venture 3, 7, 12. Do you need staff and volunteers? Are they part of your how? And how will you maintain the integrity of purpose? That's where your constitution comes in. Resources. Do you need resources? Do you have resources already? Where are you going to do it? Where is your project base? Where is your authority? What is your jurisdiction? So that could be a geography, place, town, city, region, country, world, solar system, galaxy, universe, all of creation. I hope you don't get the last one. You'll need to know the legal right you have, either earthly or heavenly, over a place for geography. There's no point in stepping into a territory that you have no jurisdiction over. There have been instances where that has proved very serious for people who've tried to do that. So, are there boundaries and where are they? When are you to do this? That's the simple answer. Ask God for his timing. Do not assume that it's just now. We've done stuff on assumptions. Timing is one of them. Very often God will reveal something. He'll tell you this is something that's going to happen. And because we now know about it, we think it's let's go do it now. It may not be. Sometimes there will be time that you have to wait. So is it now? Is it later? Is it a one-off thing? Or is there an ongoing activity that you have to have? Is it short-term or forever? Never rush in. Some things need to be incubated. Yeah. So always allow for time to prepare and be prepared. The when can be very critical to your success. Who do you have authority and responsibility for? Staff, volunteers, an ecclesia, members. Who do you want to help? Are they beneficiaries? Are they customers? Who do you have to work with to achieve your outcomes? Agencies, statutory bodies. Let's do this then. So, I've done plenty of talking. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually move into a practical exercise. For those who are watching this at home, we're going to put the sheet up so they can see what we're going to do. Yeah. So my little diagram in a minute, but I'll take everybody through this. So we're going to help you identify your what, why, and how of your plan today. You might have got some of the rest of the bits in there. And we'll use something called a modified business model canvas, which consultants love. Right. So we've got our own version of this. It's called a heavenly blueprint canvas. Yeah, and that's what it looks like. So this is what we're going to issue you with. I've got printed out copies over there so you can have one and you can actually sit down and take a look at it, take it away with you, think about it. So working across the page here, first of all, your vision. Can you succinctly write what your vision for your project is? Yes, there will be a test later. Okay. Your mandates. What are you mandated to do? Which kingdom problems will it solve? Why is it needed, etc., etc. Then you can look at your heavenly resources. Have you thought about what you need from the heavenly resources? Access to wisdom, angels, men in white linen, cloud of witnesses, courts, all that sort of thing. And there's a whole section around what activities, relationships, legislation, jurisdiction, and then at the end, how you're going to communicate it, get it out there, and where do you think the opposition will come from? Yeah. I'll give you a bit of paper with this on. Okay. At the end of this process, for those brave souls who are willing to do so, I will ask, your vision, can you describe it in 100 words or less? Can you give an elevator pitch of 30 seconds that would convince me that I should be involved with your project and that it's worthwhile? Could you tell me what your mandates are, what you're going to do, and your jurisdiction? Well, let's find out. Okay, so for those watching on the live feed, have a look at that chart, spend some time doing it for yourselves. And I'm going to stop talking. I'll hand these out and we'll get some pens and paper, and you can find a space in the room where you want to think and see if we can actually make this into a written reality. Well, let's start with rest of your life. Thanks, Dave. Yes, that's good. But for this afternoon, let's what's supposed to do for this first hour? Well, let's take till 3:15, and we'll have a break and see where we are. All right, so you got an hour, and we'll come around and ask you questions, and you can ask us questions. Okay? Cool. Yes, somewhere. What do we do with the pens and paper?
Anyone got big ideas?
Big paper?
Do you want a big bit? Oh, okay. Address label then.
So if we married, then we're meant to do this together.
If you feel you have a joint blueprint, then you have to do it together. Yeah, if people have got some, if we've got some, that would be great. It'd be nice if whatever you scribble you can take away. Yeah.
I want to go back in that room, is that okay?
Go wherever you're comfortable.
Thank you. Where do we
We give it an hour.
and we have blank paper to put it on as well, yeah? No. Yeah, you do it.
Oh my goodness, I've got loads on here.
Smaller paper than David. Stuff. Very quick over here. Yes. I have a couple more things. Yeah, it's all as well, yeah. Yeah, you've got 5 minutes. That's musical. I will, yes, I will walk you. Worship playlist. If it offends you, I'm sorry. That's a bit now.
Set yourself down on that part, and that's what we do. Really complex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's simple. Get used to it.